didn't get this at the dollar store, I'll tell you. I'm getting married in the morning. Ain't all the bells, they're gonna chime. Pull out the stopper, let's have a whopper. Get me to the church on time. I gotta be there in the morning. Spruced up looking like crime. Girls come and kiss me, show how you miss me. Get me to the church on time. If I am dancing, roll up the floor. If I am whistling, get me out that door. Getting married in the morning. Ding dong, they're gonna shine. Pull out the stopper, let's have a whopper. Get me to the church, get me to the church. For Pete's sakes, get me to the church on time. If I am dancing, roll on the floor. If I am whistling, out the door. Getting married in the morning. Ding dong, they're gonna chime. Pull out the stopper, let's have a whopper. Get me to the church, get me to the church. Please say, get me to the church. My show. Thank you so much. As Rodney Dangerfield would say, what a crowd, what a crowd. Thank you so much for coming. By the way, our stage lights, as you can tell, are not working. So, I don't know, last time we put them on, the toilets flushed, so we're not turning them on. But that song, of course, you all know, is from fantastic musical My Fair Lady. And it's all about the wedding day, which is, you know, it's an exciting day, a day filled with love and happiness, and sometimes unexpected stuff happens. And as, I'm going to make sure I do this right. This is Daniel Webster's definition of marriage. He says that marriage is a bond between two people, where one is always right and the other is a husband. So I threw that dictionary away. Now we got one for the men. We got to even this out. Married couple. They were married for 25 years. And one night they were having just an awful argument. I mean, they were yelling and screaming at the top of their lungs, and the wife finally said, "I'll dance on your grave, I'll dance on your grave." And he put it in his will to be buried at sea. So long. But anyhow, all kidding aside, marriage is wonderful. However, as we all know, sometimes there's some bumps in the road. And this next song, let me get it all set. Well, it's just about this young man who, the love of his life, she kind of left him. So he might be singing something like this. Hold it, hold it, hold it. A little miscalculation here. return to me. Oh my dear, I'm so lonely. Hurry back, hurry back. Oh my love, hurry back, I am yours. Return to me. For my heart wants you only. Hurry home, hurry home. Won't you please hurry home to my heart? My darling, it's a good line. If I hurt you, I'm sorry. Here's another good one. Forgive me, and please say you are mine. Return to me. Please come back, Bella mia. He's Italian. Hurry back to my arms and my lips and my heart. Ritornami, cara mia, ti amo. Solo two, solo three, solo four. When's my turn? To my return to me. Sorry about the technical stuff there. You know, when you're dealing with technical stuff, sometimes it wakes and sometimes it doesn't. Now, this next song that I like to do, it's water. 86% proof. This song, it's a classical French love song. It was written in 1784. Get this one, Joe. 1784. It's called The Pleasure of Love. Go figure, a French tune called The Pleasure of Love. What else, you know? However, new lyrics and a new title to this song were written to the music by 3 American songwriters. And the song was recorded in 1961. And I'm sure you're going to remember this one. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be a sin if I can't help falling in love with you? Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, in my whole life to where I can falling in love with you. Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so close. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life to where I can falling in love with you. I can't help falling in love with you. Okay, what do we have next? Now this next song was written and recorded. By the way, today's show is all about the circle of love. Love lost, love gained, new love, old love. All of the songs have something in that little circle, okay? So this next song was written and recorded in 1953 by a singer who wrote this song about his ex-wife because she flew the coop. And of course, any country and western person, right away they write a song, you know what I mean? Now the singer is Hank Williams, and I'm sure you remember the song. It goes something like this. Your cheating heart will make you weep. You'll cry and cry. Where the hell did they come from? The whole night through. All right, we heard you, but sleep won't come when the night is through. Your cheating heart is gonna tell on you. When tears come down like the falling rain, you're gonna toss around and call my name. You're gonna walk that floor just the way that I do. Your cheating heart is gonna tell on you. When tears come down like that falling rain, you're gonna toss around and call my name. You're gonna walk that floor just the way that I do. Your cheating heart is gonna tell on you. When tears come down, down, down like the falling rain, you're gonna toss around and call my name. You're gonna walk that floor just the way that I do. Your cheating heart is gonna tell on you. Your cheating heart is gonna tell on you. Your cheating heart is gonna tell on you. And it is so nice to see you here. Thank you for coming in. Okay, another drinky. And I think, that kind of reminds me of, you know, Marie, you always say everything reminds you of a joke or a story, but that does remind me of a story. It's about this country girl from the hills of Tennessee, and she was getting married and she was in the big city, and she wanted to buy a wedding dress, so she went up to the clerk and she said, "What color do I get?" And the clerk says, "Well, if you've never been married before, you get white, but if you have been married, you get blue." The country girl thought for a moment. She said, "Well, do you have one in white with just a dash of blue in it?" Okay, I think it's time for a Frank Sinatra tune. Are you ready for that? Well, I'm not. Oh, no, I am. Here we go. This has a great moral to it. It's one that we should all follow. Great lyrics. I wish I could play it. That's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But I know I'm gonna change that too. When I'm back on top in June. I said that's life. And as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on a dream. But I don't let it get me down. 'Cause this fine old world, it keeps spinning around. I've been a puppet, a pauper, a pirate, a poet, a pawn, and a king. I've been up, I've been down, I've been over, I'm out. I know one thing, each time I find myself flat on my face, pick myself up, get back in the race. That's life. Yeah, I can't deny it. You know, I thought of quitting, but forget it. My heart just ain't gonna buy it. And if I didn't think it was worth one single try, I'd jump on that big bird and fly. I've been a puppet, a pauper, a pirate, a poet, a pawn, and a king. I've been up, I've been down, I've been over and out. I know one thing, each time I find myself flat on my face, I pick myself up, get back in the race. That's life. I can't deny it. I thought of quitting, honey, but you know what? My heart just ain't gonna buy it. And if there's nothing come here this July, I'm gonna roll myself up in a great big ball and die. Thank you. And the pills are wearing off. Okay. All right, now, this one. Let me have another little drinky poo here. You know, a few years ago, I had received the most unusual birthday gift I've ever received in my life. And that was recording time in a recording studio. It was given to me by my daughter, Ronda. Now, it could be a surprise because the recording studio, she lives right outside of Branson, Missouri. the recording studio was in Branson, Missouri, so I had to bring the music like this and figure out what I was going to do. But recording studio, this session came out pretty good, and as a lot of you know, we made a CD of it, and I know some of you have bought it already. And at that time, we were having a promotion for a bus, because boy, did we need a bus. I think our next promotion is going to be on lights. But anyhow, God, I hope we don't have to wait as long. But anyhow, so I sold the CDs for $10, but donated the $10 to the bus fund. And I'm happy to say that we sold 80 of them. So $800 went to the bus fund. Thanks to you all. Thank you. So at least I know that my name is probably on one of the tires. Firestone. But anyhow, I thought it came out nice, and I wanted to include my daughter on this song. And of course, she's not here because she's in Missouri. And what I would like to do, though, is I know she's always with me in spirit, but I'm just going to bring a picture of her up. And I'd like to do a song, with your permission. I'm going to kind of sing along with a song that we did on the CD. Unforgettable, that's what you are.
Unforgettable.
Sing it, honey.
Down here on fire.
Like a song of love that clings to me. How the thought of you does things to me. Never before has someone been more
unforgettable in every way. And
forevermore, that's how you'll stay, that's how you'll stay. That's why, darling, it's incredible that someone so unforgettable thinks that I am unforgettable too. Ronda, you're unforgettable in every way.
never before has someone been
Unforgettable
in every way.
In every way.
And forevermore,
That's how you'll stay. That's why, darling, it's incredible that someone so unforgettable thinks that I am unforgettable too. Thank you. I have to tell you this. My daughter never took a voice lesson or a singing lesson in her life. And I do have to say that we did have music going on all the time. At that time, we had albums. Remember albums with the 33 1/3 speed, with the beautiful jackets? Now they're coming back with the jackets and they're putting a CD inside of it. But anyhow, we had an album, Johnny Mathis' Heavenly album. It's a wonder I don't have 12 kids. But anyhow, and we also had Only the Lonely, Frank Sinatra, the great album with the tear. Oh my gosh. And of course, Miles Davis and jazz and all of that. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because my daughter was born in 1965, so at that time I wasn't traveling. I was working at Mangum Chateau. So I grew up with her while she was growing up also. And one day I went to pick her up in kindergarten, and the kindergarten teacher said, "Mr. Boccio, can I speak with you?" And I thought, "Oh, Madon, what did she say now?" Because my daughter at a young age was, she was advanced, I would have to say that, okay? So the teacher said, "Who is Miles Davis?" And I said, "Well, Miles Davis is a famous jazz trumpeter." And she says, "Well, the reason I ask," she said, "because every day before we let the children go home, we ask them to pick their favorite marching song. And when I asked your daughter, she said, 'Sketches of Spain' by Miles Davis." So that was a case where a kindergarten teacher, a student rather, taught the teacher about modern jazz. It was a true story. Okay, now what do we have? Seeing that we're talking about so many different kinds of music, you know, there's blues, there's pop, there's rock, and there's a whole bunch of stuff. I'd like to do a song that kind of tells you how the blues got started. Oh, they say some people long ago were searching for a different tune, one that they could croon as only they can. They didn't know just what to use, Jackie Mason. That is how the blues, they started swaying to and fro, didn't know what to use. This is how the blues really began. They heard, I know you're playing it once again. They heard the rain in the trees, singing weird melodies, and they made that the start of the blues. And from a jail came the wail of that downhearted frail. I hope it's in color. And they played that as part of the blues. Now from a whippoorwill high on a hill, they grabbed a new note. They pushed it through a horn till it was worn into the blues. And they nursed it, they rehearsed it, and then they gave out the news that the Southland gave birth to the blues. Now from a whippoorwill high on that hill, they grabbed a new note, pushed it through a horn till it was worn into the blues. And they nursed it, they rehearsed it, and then they gave out the news that at the Southland, gave birth to the blues. They nursed it, rehearsed it, and gave out the news at the Southland, gave birth to the blues. Father David's not here. Oh, there he is. I was hoping you'd make. I know I'm safe because Father David is here. Thank you. Something happens, I know he'll say a couple of prayers for me. Thank you so much. You know, Sammy Davis Jr. had a great recording of that, by the way. I don't know if you remember it or not. It was really good. What do we have here? You know, this year, I got to take a little sip on this one. Even though the lights aren't on, it's hot up here. I know you guys are freezing out there. Okay. This is the 50th anniversary of the Beatles' invasion of the United States. And I mean, when they invaded, I mean, they were on the Sullivan Show. It was the highest rated show ever. They invaded. Would you like to hear a Beatles tune? Yeah. Well, I was going to do it anyway, so it doesn't matter. But I would like to dedicate this song to a wonderful individual here at Maze Lake. She's warm, she's kind, she's loving, she's generous. She's always giving of her time. And I'm proud to call her a friend, and I'm honored to work with her. Of course, I'm talking about my dear friend Marie Dorian. What do you mean, love you? Did you go to the dentist today? Well, anyhow, I know this was your daughter's favorite song, Marie, and I hope that all of you like it also. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us, only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. Now you may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world will live as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing you may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world will live as one. Imagine, imagine. Okay. Oh, righty. I guess I'll do that. I wasn't going to do it, but I'm going to do it. I want all of you to use your imagination now. You like that segue, Joe? Huh? Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm going to take you all to a dive bar at the outskirts of town. I mean, it's so lonely there, and it's very early in the morning. And there's one customer at the bar. Glad I don't own that joint. And he's the only one there, and he's lamenting the loss of a loved one. So I hope you hear these words as soon as this thing pops up. Don't you love it?
Yeah.
Hang on. Don't swear, Ron. Here we go. Dive bar, remember that. It's 2:45. There's no one in the place except you and me. Stick 'em up, set 'em up, Joe. Thought I was in Cicero. I got a little story. You ought to know. We're drinking, my friend, to the end of a brief episode. Make it one for my baby, and one more for the road. I got the routine, so put another $1, inflation, in the machine. I'm feeling so bad. I wish you'd make the music dreamy and sad. I could tell you a lot, but you've got to be true to your core. Make it one for my baby, and one more for the road. Now, Joe, you never know it, but buddy, I'm kind of a poet, and I've got a lot of things to say. And when I'm gloomy, you simply gotta listen to me until they're all talked away. That's how it goes. And Joe, I know you're getting anxious close. Thanks for the cheer. I hope you didn't mind my bending your ear. But this torch that I found, it must be drowned, or it soon might explode. Make it one for my baby, and one more for the road. That long, long I'll see you, Joe. Thank you. Oh, let's see if I could do the next one. Oh, definitely. Okay, now, remember that guy at the bar? Just now, he just left the bar. Well, guess what? It's months later. Hang on a second. Here we go again with this. You know, I think the electrical system in here is a little screwed up, by the way. I haven't had this problem. Okay. Yeah, it's really, here we go. Sorry about this, gang. But, you know, when it's technical, it's technical. Remember that guy at the bar? Well, his girlfriend wants to come back. Imagine that, it's a few months later. So he arranges a meeting with her. It's okay, let's have a meeting. And we'll talk this over. So when they finally do get together, this is what he said to her. Now you say you're lonely. You cry the whole night through. Well, you can cry me a river. Go ahead. Cry me a river. I cried a river over you. I cried for you. Now you say you're sorry for being so untrue. Well, you can cry me a river, cry me a river, 'cause I cried a river over you. You drove me, you nearly drove me out of my head. While you never shed a tear. Remember, I remember all that you said. You told me love was too plebeian. You told me you were through with me. And now you say you love me. Just to prove that you do. Come on and cry me a river. Cry me a river. 'Cause I cried a river over you. I cried for you. Now you can cry for me. You told me that you loved me, but you lied. So cry, 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 cry. Well, just to prove that you do, come on and cry, cry me a river, cry me a river, I cry a river over you. I cried a river. Cry me a river.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. Now I do need a drink. Oh my God. Okay. Oh, all right. I guess I'll do this one. Okay. Let's make sure that we don't have a problem. You moved on me. Okay. The song that I like to do now is called Mari Nialo. It's a Neapolitan song that was written in 1893. Really digging these up, aren't I, Joe? Man, I really went to the ball for this one. And the words were written by Gennaro Ottaviano, and the music by Salvatore Gambardella.
Hey.
Now, it was adapted into the English language and was sung by the character Johnny Fontaine, played by El Martino in the 1972 film The Godfather.
Wow.
So, I hope you like this rendition. I have but one heart, this heart I give you. I have but one heart to share with you. I have but one dream that I can cling to. You are the one dream I pray comes true. My darling, until I saw you, I never felt this way, and nobody else before you has ever heard me say, you are my one love. My life I live for you. I have but one heart to give to you. Vicino mare, agim amore, ancora, ancora, deixes passar, so marinare, regino anasma, la rasa, stundar morire. but one love. My life I live for you. I have but one heart to give to you. La 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 la. I have but one heart to give to you. See, they did write melodies. You know, a lot of songs were adapted from operas and operettas. They just took the music and they wrote lyrics to it. That was really a good one. All right. Let's make sure we're done. This one. Okay. Got it set. This next number was a popular song that was first recorded and released by the great Glenn Miller Orchestra in 1942 as a single. Did very, very well. The music was written by Harold Arlen and the lyrics by Johnny Mercer. And I think Johnny Mercer wrote a song every day of his life. That guy had more lyrics coming out of him, it was unbelievable. But anyhow, he wrote these lyrics, he wrote the song especially for Judy Garland, because at that time, can you believe this, Joe, they were going together. Hey, you know what I mean? So she recorded the song on Decca Records in 1942, and it did okay. However, a 1950 recording on Mercury Records, which was right here in Chicago, was done by Billy Daniels. Anybody remember Billy Daniels?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Okay. Well, this song became so popular that it became his signature song for the rest of his career. And I just hope that maybe you like my version of this song. Sounds like saber dance, huh? That old black magic has me in its spell. That old black magic that you weave so well. Those icy fingers up and down my spine. The same old witchcraft when your eyes meet mine. Same old tingle that I feel inside. And then that elevator starts its ride. Down and down I go, oh, all around I go, like that leaf that's caught in the tide. I should stay away, but what can I do? I hear your name, and I'm aflame with such a burning desire that only a kiss, ooh, put out the fire. You're the lover I have waited for, Tony Martin. You're the mate that fate had me created for, Ronda, Boccio. And every time your lips meet mine, down and down I go, ooh, all around me, like that leaf that's caught in the tide. I should stay away, what can I do? I hear your name, and I'm a great big fat flame, aflame with such a burning desire that only your kiss put out the fire. You're the lover that I have waited for. I got it! You're the mate that fate had me created for. And every time your lips meet mine, down and down I go. Ooh, under that old black magic coat. You're a dirty robber, black magic coat. Oh, here comes the judge. Old black magic coat. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, under that old black magic By the way, how did I do on the Italian?
Wonderful.
Huh? Did I get a...
Bella.
Oh, good. Yeah, because you know how hard I worked on that? Mamma mia. By the way, that reminds me of, I forgot to tell you this joke when we were in the Italian thing. This is one of my favorite stories. This is about Luigi and Rosa. Now, Rosa made the greatest Italian sausage in the world. Now, if you know this one, keep quiet, okay? Because I know I've told some people this already. And so they were telling her, you should sell it in the stores and all of that. So little by little, she started selling it in the stores. And after a lot of hard work and many years of toil, Luigi had the most modern Italian sausage factory in the country. Now, they had an only son who never worked a damn day in his life. He just graduated college. And of course, seeing that he was the only one in the family with a college education, he knew everything, okay? Now Luigi was showing him all of the machinery in the sausage factory. And he says, hey, Butsy, come here, I'm going to show you something. You see this machine? This machine cost me $100,000. My money! And the kid says, oh, that's nothing, Pop. GE's got machines that cost $300,000. Takes him over, he says, you see this machine? This machine cost me $500,000, mamma mia! The kid says, that's nothing, Pop. Microsoft's got machines that cost $1 million. Hey, Managel America. So he says, I'm going to show you another room. Takes him into this room. He says, Butsy, you see this machine? With this machine, I take a stupid pig, I put him in this end. He goes a zoom, around, a zoom, and out this end comes a beautiful sausage. And the kid says, that's nothing, Pops. He says, now, Pops, you'd have something. You would really have a machine if you put in a sausage and it goes around and around and around, and out comes a stupid pig. You'd have something. And he says, a machine like that I don't have, but your mother's got that kind of a machine. How could I forget that joke? Okay. Where were we? All right. I don't know. I should do this next number. Do you want to go to the Paris Opera House? Yes. Okay. I need a rest for this one. This one requires a wardrobe change. By the way, I have to take this off because I think the batteries are dead. Hang on. All right, this song requires cake. I said, Ron, where did you get that beautiful cake? And I said, oh, it's something I saw draped over a table. Just picked it up and I took it. So here we go with this. Can you guess what we're going to do?
Phantom of the Opera.
Well, I'm going to try. You guys are probably so tired anyhow. Let me make sure I got this. Okay. Get the music ready. In this musical, the song is sung by the Phantom, who lures Christine down to his lair beneath the opera house. Now he seduces Christine with his music of the night, his voice putting her into a trance, and he sings of his unspoken love for her. And he urges her to forget the life that she knew before.
There we go.
Nighttime sharpens, heightens each sensation. Darkness stirs and wakes imagination. Silently the senses abandon their defenses, helpless to resist the notes I rhyme. I compose the music of the night. Slowly, gently, night unfurls its splendor. Grasp it, sense it, tremulous and tender. Turn your face away from the garish light of day. Turn your thoughts away from cold unfeeling light, and listen to the music of the night. Close your eyes and surrender to your darkest dreams. Purge your thoughts of the life you knew before. Close your eyes, let your spirit start to soar. And you'll live as you've never lived before. Softly, deftly, music shall caress you. Hear it, feel it, secretly possess you. Open up your mind, let your fantasies unwind. In this darkness which you know you cannot fight, the darkness of the music of the night. Let your mind start a journey through a strange new world. Leave all thoughts of the life you knew before. Let your soul take you where you long to be. Only then can you belong to me. Floating, falling, sweet intoxication. Touch me, oh trust me. Savor each sensation. Let the dream begin. Let your darker side give in to the power of the music that I want. The power of the music of the night. Christine, nose here because I was suffocating. It's not that I have a big nose, but... Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Before I do my last number to say finally, this guy goes on like Old Man River, just keeps rolling along. I would just like to say thank you for being such a wonderful audience, not a wonderful audience, for being such a fantastic audience. Thank you so much for coming. I mean, we've got Ann Dando here, we've got the Joyful Voices here, we've got my friend from Bank of America. I mean, it's unbelievable. And also all of the wonderful friends here at Mays Lake. And I have to tell you this, you know, I love this place. I think it's the greatest place in the world. If you don't know that by now, you never will. I received a note from Mr. Mike Frigo, who runs this place. He said he was sorry that he couldn't attend because he has a meeting downtown. And I received 4 phone calls from residents that live here, almost apologizing that they couldn't be here, and they're going to be out of town. I mean, come on. So that's what I mean about this place. It's fantastic. And I say this during my shows, and I say this during when I'm not doing shows. Tell somebody you love them while they're alive. Show somebody you love them while they're alive, because you'll both feel so much better for it. Thank you. And you know, you've been a wonderful audience. I wish I had a bigger apartment. I'd take you all home with me. Okay. I promise this is the last number. This number, if you ever went to remember nightclubs?
Yeah.
I mean, they were great. You can go see a show, they have dinner, drinks, or whatever. Well, if you went to a nightclub, some singer probably sang this, because this song was probably, oh, I see the Medicine Man is here.
Hey, Tony!
You know, that does remind me of a joke. This woman goes to the pharmacist and she said, I'd like some arsenic, please. And the pharmacist says, what do you want the arsenic for? She says, I want to give it to my husband. He said, I'm sorry, I can't sell you arsenic for that reason. She opens up her purse, takes out a picture, shows him a picture of her husband with the pharmacist's wife, and they're in bed. And he looks at it and he says, why didn't you tell me you had a prescription? That's the Medicine Man. I was waiting for him. All day I was waiting for him. Okay, so anyhow, this song, you probably heard it some many times, but it's really a nice song, and it's another one that you really should kind of pick the words in. You're nobody until somebody loves you. We got couples here. You're nobody until somebody cares. Now you may be king, you may possess the world and its gold. Gold won't bring you happiness, not when you're growing old. Now the world will be the same, you're never gonna change it. As long as the stars shine above, you're nobody until somebody loves you. So go and find somebody to love. You're nobody until somebody grabs you. And you're nobody until somebody cares. You may be king, and you may possess the world and its gold. Gold won't bring you happiness, not when you're growing old. Well, the world will be the same. You're never going to change it. As long as the stars shine above, you're nobody who needs a light until somebody loves you. So go and find somebody to love. Now you're nobody, till somebody love you. And you're nobody until somebody cares. Nobody until somebody loves you. So go and find somebody. I hope you find somebody. Go and find somebody to love. That's it. Thank you. Thank you. I was just going to say, who came in? The
Standing ovation.
That's why you stood up. Thank you so much. Thank you.